Right, Forest fans, Max Newton here on Talk Forest TV. Hit that like, comment and subscribe button. Join the conversation. Giving you a quick review of Nottingham Forest 3, Southampton the Saints 2. Forest obviously went into the game on the back of really good result, really good performance at home to Liverpool. Don't take any of this nonsense from pundits and Liverpool fans claiming that they battered us for 97 minutes. They didn't have a shot on target for 60. And they got a lucky goal from a corner, and then the tails were up and they went for it. But Forest played really well. Forest looked the most dangerous side going forward in the first half. Liverpool were kept quiet by Forest no matter how much possession they had, and Liverpool only got into the game the last 20 minutes. So yeah, we went into this game. Obviously, one change was Nicolas Dominguez coming in for Ryan Yates, which probably a fair swap. I think I saw some people saying that maybe Dominguez comes in when Forest want to be a bit more progressive and his passing's a bit better. But what I would say is that Ryan Yates does the job that you ask Ryan Yates to do, and quite often the job that you're asking Ryan Yates to do is cause trouble, mop up, get the ball, give it to somebody else, and sit in that position. But actually, when Forest have asked Ryan Yates to play further forward and be a box-to-box midfielder arriving in the box to create and score goals, Ryan Yates does that, as we saw against Luton and we've seen in other games. So I don't necessarily buy into that. But then again, maybe Ryan Yates got the nod over Dominguez for that game just to shit house the Scousers after he did such a great job against McAllister and so on in the home game. And I thought Forest didn't look like there was any complacency, didn't look like there was any let-up in intensity, went at Southampton, got into them, great first goal. Forest had quite a lot of possession, passed it around nicely. We're still probably never going to have like 60-70% possession against anybody, but a lot more possession, but crucially, just look more dangerous than the other side when we've got the possession. Excuse me. First goal, brilliant to see Elliot Anderson get his first goal, long overdue. A driving run into the box after a lovely little flick from Morgan Gibbs-White. Those two linking up superbly well, and actually lashed it into the near post. And I think Alanga and Wood slightly got in the view of Ramsdale, but he lashed it in and really celebrated it, and great to see him celebrate. Great to see his family celebrate it as well. I know his family were there at the game, and great start early on, eased the pressure, and you're already wondering how many. Second goal, bit of a mistake from Southampton, but how many times did we see that the last couple of seasons with giving the ball away, mistake, and teams punishing us? And now we're that team that jumps on mistakes and makes people pay, and that's brilliant to see. It's a real sign of progression as well. And Callum Hudson-Odoi, absolutely cracking effort, swinging it into the inside of the side netting rather than being one where he comes in and curls it in. 2-0, and then very soon it was 3-0 with a lovely cross from Ole Einar. And Chris Wood, just beautiful directed header into the bottom corner. And 3-0 at half time, you're really wondering it's going to be a case of how many, and results coming in from elsewhere were kept us pretty buoyant as well. Hilarious laughing at Spurs. What we didn't see from the opposite end to us was shocking elbow right into the face of Morgan Gibbs-White, and Anthony Taylor inexplicably only gives a yellow. But even more inexplicably, VAR don't look at it for violent conduct and hold the play up, or even recommend that Taylor goes over and has a look. Absolutely inexplicable. It's a shocking elbow to the face. He's not looking at the ball. His intention is to go and hurt the player. So it's absolutely incredible. And Taylor, throughout the first half, had a really poor first half and it continued into the second. I've seen this like ghost foul where a player is. It's worse than anything you saw at Forest against Anderlecht. And I'm not suggesting Taylor might be bribed, but that was the only explanation for the Anderlecht performance, where there was clear daylight between player and fouled opposition player, and that's exactly what was the case. If you've not seen it, check it out because it's absolutely incredible. And Taylor was like 6 yards away. Seemed to lose the ability to get his cards out. There was 4 or 5 tackles from behind, shocking tackles from behind that didn't get a yellow, including another one by Downs, the same player that elbowed Morgan Gibbs-White on Morgan Gibbs-White, and I don't think he even got a yellow for it, and yet really it's a straight red as well. Taylor didn't even seem to have his spray for marking out free kicks. Inexplicable decision to disallow the goal for offside. A goal where not a single player on the pitch, nobody in the coaching staff, nobody in the crowd, no journalists, no pundits, nobody watching on TV could see anything wrong with that goal. Wood comes from maybe comes from an offside position, but I've not seen the lines. But he's absolutely not interfering with play. He comes and challenges Milenkovic, if anybody, and if the game's gone if you're disallowing goals for that. Nobody wants to see goals disallowed for that. That's the case. It's supposed to be minimum interference, maximum impact. So looking for howlers. In no way is that a howler, and in no way, that is VAR teams going back to the bad old days of VAR from a couple of seasons ago and poring over goals looking for a reason to disallow it. So really, really poor. Really, really poor. And only idiots like my mate Moon think it's actually offside. Everybody's entire agreement, apart from Southampton fans, that it wasn't offside. And hilarious fumbling of Ramsdale into the goal was probably an own goal, to be honest. And I think so that would have made it 4-1 after Southampton got a lucky break to score a goal. But that 4-1 would have just eased it, made it easy. And we'd again, it might have been 5, 6, 7. Instead, it was 3-1, and I think it was a bit of a drop off in intensity from the Forest players. Obviously, again, we've talked a lot about how great our bench is and the squad is, and that is true. But I think against Liverpool and against Southampton, we saw that perhaps our bench isn't quite as good as it needs to be because there was a bit of a drop off in intensity and ability on the pitch. And their big guy, I seem to remember coming on when we beat them 4-3 and being shit scared. Ward-Prowse putting in corners for that guy. Unchallenged, scored a header. That's 2 consecutive games where we've conceded headers unchallenged in the box from corners. So that's something to work on. And then that set up a really frantic last 12 minutes. I think 12 minutes injury time was fair, mainly because of the ridiculous VAR delays. But Forest held on. And nearly capped it all off by Murillo making a rampaging run from about the halfway line right into the box. He was like coming right at us. It always looked like he was looking deep into our souls as he ran forward with the ball. And we were saying, shoot, Murillo, shoot. But unfortunately, I think the ball got caught under his feet a bit and a tackle was made. And then the whistle went straight after that. And Murillo celebrated in front of the Trent end. So all in all, it was a more exciting game that got the crowd more up for it than perhaps it would have been without the interference of Anthony Taylor and without that little late comeback from Southampton. Because Southampton looked really, really poor. I think Tyrone looked average again when he came on. He looked really good, I thought, when he come on in the games before the Liverpool game, but looked more off it than he was in those games. My man of the match, I'd probably give it Morgan Gibbs-White or Elliot Anderson. Probably Elliot Anderson because he scored his first goal. Also got to give a big shout to Ola Aina for a magnificent goal line clearance. But the upshot is it's another win, it's another 3 points, and we're going to a tricky run of games now. But we've said that before, that Forest have been going into tricky run of games and we've come through them in flying colours. So, come on, you Reds.